Thanks so much for being with us today. I hope you've had a great day with us. Great guest, and I've got one more great guest for you. I've got DIY Network, Bronson Pinchot Project, and you will be able to see him and learn a lot from his labors of love. Bronson, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
Well, thank you. Tell me about your new show.
Well, I'm doing what I have done for years and years and years and years and decades, only someone just happens to be filming it now, so we don't have to worry about trying to be cutesy or appealing or do anything. I'm just getting on with my restoration projects, which are dear to my heart, and I take demolished or abandoned houses of the 1820s and 30s and 40s, and I take those pieces and I preserve them, and then I put them onto houses of the same period that have been damaged or compromised or unsympathetically restored in more recent years. And then in a sense, I'm bringing back the abandoned house and the new house and making one house out of it that appears never to have been touched.
Many people are DIY themselves. People, they consider themselves anyway. You see them at Lowe's on the weekend or Home Depot. Do you think they can apply this to their homes that may not be as old, what they see you doing?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that I often think of is that the techniques that we show on the show might have some unexpected and really wonderful applications, because you could take the techniques that we show on the show, for instance. If you had, I often think of this, I want to do it myself, but I'd love it to hear that somebody else did it. If you had a child or a senior that was terribly, terribly homesick for a room that they loved in another house, if you use the techniques we show on the show, you could actually recreate that room down to the last splinter in a new house, or bring it along with you. That's what we do with old houses, but there's no reason you couldn't do it with a much more modern house. Just take it apart in a certain way, very carefully, and rebuild it wherever you want it, inside another house or as a spare room or something like that. I often think it would be so wonderful for seniors who are in assisted living to be able to have their own living room right there. I think it would make them feel so much better.
Oh, that's so sweet, Bronson. That is a very sweet thought. As you work on the DIY network, what's the best thing about being on DIY?
Well, the most wonderful thing about being on DIY is they totally let me be myself. We have the most wonderful, easy, informal relationship. I've never been happier on any network. My executive, Dan Tepper, comes up and looks at what I'm doing and takes me out to dinner, and we laugh, and he understands me, and he said, look, you don't need to nod to any of the conventions of reality TV. You just do what you do. You're perfectly fine just the way you are. Don't add, don't subtract, just do what you do. And I feel so happy that way that I'm sure I could do it for years to come, and lots of spin-off shows and other things, because there's lots of aspects of working with salvage that we don't cover on the show, because we do one room or one house or one structure for each episode. There's many other things that can be done, like making furniture. I just think the world of them. I'm really happy there.
When can we watch the Bronson Pinchot Project on DIY Network? My audience has to excuse my Cajun accent today. When can we watch it?
Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. is the premiere.
DIY Network, and the reason why I asked you, it's so 21st century. It's what people it's really reality TV in a sense. It's what we're doing at home and just watching other people mimic. And I think it's good because you're not doing just totally crazy stuff. I do like that. Because the other reality TV is, I'm sure people doing it at home, but it's really crazy stuff.
Well, the thing of it is that you can take as much or as little away from this show as you want. You don't have to use something from 1720 or 1820. You could do the same techniques with something from 1920. The house I grew up in was from 1920, and I could use the same techniques. I could pick that house up and reconstruct it somewhere here if my mom ever wanted to come and live here and still have her house. You can apply it to anything. You can use a little of it, or you can go all the way and be a purist. somehow it will affect people in that they will want to preserve things because we show how to do it. Oh, they're telling me I have to wrap it up. There's a big sign being held up that says wrap. Now,
It's
either
your
that
time.
means they
That's
got me
okay.
a
It's
turkey
your time.
wrap, or I have to actually stop talking.
Thank you so much. We know when to watch you. We know where to watch you. So thank you for joining us, Bronson. I appreciate it.
You betcha. Thank you for having me.